Okay, it's Frank Kirkus again here. I've just been doing this conservative Russian strategy here. So we're on January 1942. I went ahead and I did a few things with Germany here. So Germany, just to boost itself up and do what an actual German player would have done in the time where it was not attacking Russia. Now, this could be different, but this is just a generalization here. They built 3 factories up here, 3 factories here, total of 3 factories there. They've taken over Yugoslavia and all of Greece. They've had both Hungary and Bulgaria join them, along with Romania. And then up here in the north, they have had an amphibious assault and returned. They've also taken this over and dropped an airborne, parked up here. I haven't really done a lot with troops here. I built some infantry over here, like these tanks, and I have a stack of 4 tanks that came out of here to come to Romania. So Germany didn't really do so much of a military build as it did an infrastructure build, and that's in the process took over all these easily attainable locations, including Denmark. It's left the Netherlands alone. There's a specific reason for that. I'll go into the Netherlands strategy for anybody, really. It's both ways that the Netherlands get used. And yeah, there we go. So Germany's currently making, I included their bonuses up there, $60 a turn. Russia's at 41, plus the 4 for its external purchase, external ownerships, like this one here, that one there, that one there. That's 3. And it's got some stuff down there. Russia's also managed to move these units down here, so we'll see what we can do as Russia to be a bit of a disturber down there. And all I built for Russia every other turn, except for to now, is infantry. Just strictly infantry. I got stacks of infantry all over the place. And I got a fairly healthy stack down here as well. And upgraded that factory. So that's where we sit now, in case you haven't watched my previous videos that I recorded on this. And there we go. So let's do a Russian turn here. Oh, my Russian build for this turn is going to be, what do we got there? 6, 7, 8 tanks and 2 motorized upgrades of infantry. That way they can tow artillery. Alright, so what we're going to do here is, you know what? If Germany gets this place, it's going to get Iraq for free, right? And this is currently German controlled. I switched these out with the gray because that's the color I use, but I just used the black there previously as an example. So let's say if I was Germany, I would probably roll in with these light tanks and these cavalry. And I'd leave this here just so that if Germany did declare war, I could move these 2 guys in here and just take it for free. Maintaining the supply line, so to speak. Alright, so that's that. That's it for their combat moves. Germany's only $5 away from making, or sorry, Russia's only $5 away from making full income. The last couple of turns I rolled a 1 and a 3 though, so you never know. But the 2 turns previous to that was an 11 and a 12 on their income increases. So, and this is very conservative. I'm waiting for Germany to move in. This is all Russian defense build here. Oh, I knocked that dude over. Alright, so let's see what happens down there. That is not mountains, so it does not measure. So 2 cavalry at 3, nothing. 2 light tanks, nothing. 1 infantry, nothing. 2 light tanks. Okay, the Russians got a hit. 1 infantry back, and that's also a hit. So if I was Russia, I would do that. Alright. That place is worth 2. These units cannot blitz. So, get those two guys out of the way. Alright, so now what would I do here? I think that's it for Russia for combat moves. It's the only one I would have shown here, so I'm just going to leave it at that. Yeah, so we're just going to put a piece of pie down there. Roundel, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Iraq is Russian. Now, let's see where the roll is going to be. An 8. Well, we max out at 46, and we're at 41 for this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we stop because we can't get any higher. Plus we got these 4 up here. So let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Russia's at 50. We'll take this thing off up here because we don't need that extra now because they're at their full income. And they took Iraq for 2. So Russia's at 52. Plus they got the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. So 1, 2, 3. Russia's technically at 55. Notice that Germany, with all of Europe, essentially all of Europe, minus the Netherlands and whatnot, is making 60. That's not a big difference. So Germany kind of waited too long here to do an attack, I think, because money-wise it's going to be pretty tight. Alright, so there we go. So, oh yeah, I built all these tanks here, right? So, now where would you put these tanks? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 tank each. I need some more scopes here. 1 tank each up here. I got 6 left. So what I would probably do is, just to make things, this place here can counterattack here, here, here. So we'll put 3 more tanks there. And I got 3 tanks left over. So what I'm probably going to do with these 3 tanks is let's build them back here. Let's build them in Novosibirsk there. That way they can move towards the Japanese, or they can move towards Moscow if required. Alright, so placement of units is 3 tanks over here. These 3 tanks can either move that way, or they can move that way, or they can move into Mongolia if we wish. Then for my other placements, I placed nothing here. I placed 1 tank here, 1 tank here, and 3 tanks here to join the one I already had. Now these motorized upgrades, I don't have any, see I got 2 motorized here already, right? I got motorized here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 2 off here, and I'm going to upgrade these 2 guys. Factory's not required. I could have just upgraded. Actually, let's do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 upgrades, since this is on a supply path, and make those 2 motorized. Why? That way I can get those up. You know what I mean? I can move those down there if needed in a hurry, or they can move 2 now, right? So I can get them up to here in 1 turn if need be. Just trying to plan ahead because Russia's rail moves are only 2. Alright, and I'm going to leave this turn here. I'm going to move the turn tracker up to July 42. And if Germany doesn't declare war on Russia, I think Russia would declare war on Germany now. We'll see. Leave it at that. Okay, so it's July 42. Let's say Germany. This is not a totally unrealistic situation. Here, let's put this down so I'm not waving around here. So Germany, this turn, built these two battleships. One that was on the place units for the production chart from the start of the game. One that was the French captured one. It built an extra transport in here. So let's put, and two Marines. So it puts a little bit more threat on this. It also puts threat on this, and it puts threat on Russia and Leningrad. Although Russia's got enough of a stack here that it could probably hold out against the piddly attack that only brings in 4 units. Right? So Russia's doing okay. Now, if I was Germany, I probably wouldn't have left this here. So let's just assume that this got taken down to here. Along with this guy. Yeah, let's just throw him over there. That puts a little bit more pressure on the British over here, but from here it can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? If it wants, so it could even attack all the way up to here or one of these empty locations. All right. So I've done one combat move as Russia here off camera, just down into here. The forces that were in Iraq went over, killed an infantry, lost the cavalry. You know, there you go, mountain fighting. So it took me 2 rounds to get anything there, but it happened. So now, if I was Russia right about now, I'd be noticing that Germany is starting to take Turkey. They built the Navy base here, whatnot. They're probably planning on putting some pressure in the Med along with the Italians, but they could be using this stuff to come across and try to take that out, or take this out, or take Crimea or something, right? So as Germany, or as Russia, sorry, against Germany, I would have a feeling that there's probably something coming right away. So what I would do is I would also declare war, and on my combat move, I would destroy these 2 air bases using the Scorched Earth. So these 2 are destroyed completely. They come off the map. Now, so that's my combat move, was these 2 things, and Southern Iran, so that Germany doesn't get a bonus from that. Now, I would also declare a combat move. And I'm going to go ahead and do my combat move right now, where declare war on Germany to negate the Soviet surprise attack. I would start pulling my forces back. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. These 2, because these guys are probably going to get hit. So these 2 here. Let's take 10 of these guys, 11 of these guys over here. So we'll leave this stack here. And we're going to move those guys down to there. Move this guy up. What else are we going to do? We're going to run away with this tank to here. That's 2. This tank's going to run away to here. That's 2. There's a little bit of a stack here. These factories, we're going to non-combat move with strategic rail. Do we put them in Moscow or Stalingrad? You know what? We're not sure. Let's throw one over there, one over here. You never know. You never know. All right, we're just trying to vacate the premises up here so that notice it's very empty now in appearance. And this Minsk guy, we'll leave him there. This guy from Lithuania here, we're going to move him up into Latvia. We're just kind of giving Germany a corridor where, yeah, you want to take something in your first move, you can move a blitz. Well, nothing. So I'm not getting the attacker, the defender penalty either way, but I'm trying to draw them out and get them forward away from their factories and closer to my factories. All right. So that is that. Yeah. So that would be the Russian turn. Russia's only going to go up $2 for southern Iran, so Russia's at 57. Russia is at 4 wartime income. Oh, but we have to take off the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See? Big difference. Alright, we're going to move the turn tracker to January 43. See what happens. By about this time, the Americans would also be in the war, so this is if conservative strategy just to preserve Russia. I'm only focused on Russia staying alive. I'm not doing anything crazy, aggressive, nothing anywhere else really. However, I forgot to show a couple things. Germany's going to get some stuff free now, but so is Russia. So Germany's now going to be able to align these two locations for $2, and because they were technically controlled by the Germans, and same with this one here. But notice Russia's put a containment on that first. We're trying to keep that from getting out of hand. Now, that's the German increases, so that's $2 for Germany. So we're at 59. Now Russia's also going to increase as well, because Turkey got activated by the Germans, which means Russia controlled them, but now they're Russian. I'll switch those troops out in a bit here, but the Russians also go up only $1 for that, but every dollar counts, right? Every dollar counts. And let's just swap these things out here. Alright. So Russia now owns all this stuff here. Right? There's a few extra troops. They're in the mountains. Makes it harder to attack. It's not that far away from their borders. You got this stuff here from Russia. I'm basically in full turtle mode here for Russia. Alright. Well, so that's the end of that turn. Russia's going to go up an extra $1. So Russia will be at 55. And Germany will be at 59. The Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact is broken. And all I did was actually build 5 aircraft. 2 fighters. 3 tacticals, and I also built this motorized. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not sure what's all going on, so I'm going to combine that. You know what? Actually, I'm going to fly these guys down here to this weird stack I have going on down there. I'll explain why I have that stack there, and I'm just going to move these 5 aircraft into here at this factory. I'll have to tidy this up later, but there you go. I built a mech that I'm placing in Novosibirsk with these tanks. So for these tanks are holding back, let's say Japan's doing something. But if, for example, Japan has moved all of these units up here, because we've intentionally left this pretty weak, right? So if Japan moves all its units down there, then we don't have to do anything over here. Which means we don't need to leave these tanks here. So the whole reason why I like using this, you can kind of use this place as a rear factory. It's out of range of German bombers. So 1, 2. Notice from here we can join that stack, or we can join Moscow from this location, 1, 2, or 1, 2. You know what I mean? I am trying to make it so that Russia has a stack here that can move 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? The stack here can actually counterattack up there. Not everything, like not the infantry, but everything else in here can. Through Russian territory, right? So, this stuff here can go 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, right? There's multiple ways. Or it can counterattack anything that's up here, or here, or here, right? That's what I'm looking at here. I'm trying to make myself interconnected. That same thing I was talking about with Germany, where you have your little hubs. This is going to be a hub, this is going to be a hub. So next turn, we're going to be moving this factory down to there. But for right now, I'm not too worried because it's out of range of all German units. So we'll see what happens here. Right, that's the end of that turn. Okay, we're January 43. Had a quick change here. Both Germany and Russia made an extra buck because Spanish Civil War wasn't concluded. So this one's worth a buck and this one's worth a buck. So this navy here became German. Anything that was my gray here, the fascists, has all become German. Anything that was the yellow, which I was using as a communist, has all become Russian. Alright, another correction. I forgot to add this in. This should be British, and so should this, not Russian. So that's been corrected. Alright. Tiny little bit of this piece left. Take it before this unit starts to become a pain in the butt and attacking your stuff. So, done. Let's see what else is going on here. Russia's build this turn is going to be 10 tanks. Right? Now, the reason for this, right? Germany's got a bit of a stack here. You're going to move some of this stuff down to defend that. Let's say they did this attack here. Bang and bang, right? And they did this one. This doesn't bother me too much. I can hit this from here, from here, from here. Bring in the planes and the tanks from here. Hit that as well. There's no real defenses that are no reinforcements that can reach, so that's perfect time to hit it before the reinforcements arrive. Right? I pulled back and then I hammer them. Right? And then they have to move towards me now. That's the whole point of this conservative strategy here. Now this is kind of foolish for the German player to do. I would leave my tanks and mechs along with that stack of infantry back here. But if they were foolish enough to do this, I would definitely hit them with as much as I could, bring in all the planes and whatnot, take out all these high value tanks and mechs. While they don't have any infantry and light tanks and artillery that can take the hits and keep the expensive mechs, right? Gotta remember, one tank is the same value as 2 of these infantry, money-wise. Right? So, yeah, that's basically it. It's basically your hub defense. I'm centering this hub. You know, if they go south, I'm going to move this factory down here. Just because this factory here can reach there in 2 turns, so you can reinforce down there. Keep your $5 and your $3 land zones. These ones are all worth 1 or nothing, except for the city of Kiev. I might leave the stack here, that way I have this rapid movement corridor. Right? That way Moscow can get out. The troops from Moscow can reach here. You know what I mean? You're moving back and forth. And that's pretty much it. You're drawing them into your territory, and then you're going to have separate stacks that collapse on them. Now, this is if they split. If instead Germany had decided to go all down here instead of up here, that's a totally another monster, as you can see, right? And then you probably would have taken that city out. Now, if they're all down here, that's another monster, right? That's all their units are down there. So this stuff here is almost like a waste, or it may feel like it, but you're basically gonna force them to keep some stuff on their border up here by having these troops up here. But now, you know, you focus out of here, you're gonna have to build more here, but one thing I find with Russia, if Germany's putting all its eggs on the bottom or the top, that's usually going to win. If it's splitting them up, you can usually hold them off. So what I would end up doing now here is just pulling back to here, pull all this stuff back, right up here, and just hit it. Or wait for them to come to you and build some serious defense. But like I say, I like having these tanks mixed in here. The mechs defend the same as an infantry, but infantry are cheaper, so I'll build stacks of infantry back here if I'm doing purely defensive. Add tanks and aircraft to it when I can, and then I can use these tanks and the aircraft as a counterattack. If I'm starting to get a serious deck of tanks though, and I'm planning on doing counterattacks, I'll build mechs to go with them. That way my mechs can defend and take the hits because they're $2 cheaper than a tank. So yeah, and don't forget Novorossiysk here, major factory. 1 turn you can move tanks to here. 2 turns they can reach there or Moscow. Right, so just you can build 5, move, land, 5, 5. Right, you can run this like a conveyor belt. It doesn't have to be tanks, you could just be building mechs, right? Or you could be building units here and using the rail move. Problem is Russia only gets 2 rail moves, all the way from here to the front, or that front. Alright, so I think I've rambled on this enough, and yeah, there we go. So this is the whole purpose behind my conservative Russian strategy. If this happens, or instead of all these stacks being down there, they decide to come up here instead. It's going to be a bit of moving shit around, but see, all this stuff comes up here instead. Right, they probably leave some defenses behind. This is the same deal, right? You got all this stuff up here. Well, now maybe you don't need to move that factory down here. Maybe you move that factory, leave that factory up here, and you just move this stack up here, right? See where I'm getting at? That's that, right? If they're coming all up here, move your stacks to where, right? Russia's got the ability to move its factories around, so you can move your defensive point from up here. You move all your troops and your factory down to here, right? And then if things go well, you can move your factory forward to here and all your troops up, right? So just remember, you can always move that factory in Russia. Let me just move some of this stuff back here. Got a big mess. All right. You can always move your troops as Russia, right? And your factories. You just have to stay inside your Russian territory. That's it. Same thing with this, right? Let me just turn this a bit here. Let's say you're not having any issues back here. You've got a big stack. Russia's being left alone on the other side. You're going to move a factory from way back there. You can put it right here if you want, or right here. You can put 2 here, right? Or say move the factory to here. Whatever you build here, you can drop into Kang, right? Or you move this up to here, because the impassable zone starts halfway through this territory, that dotted stuff. Here. Oh, we lost the whole camera setup. So this dots here is the impassable zone, right? But if you're here, you can cross over here, and then from this factory here, you can start pumping stuff down into India or Iran or wherever. Or so you don't want to move that factory from here to there. You can move it here, or you can move it right here. Right? You don't need a stack here anymore. You need your stack down here, and you're pushing through Turkey. You know, Russia owns Turkey. Russia's crossing into Bulgaria, right? You need a shorter supply line. The nice thing about Russia, you can move your factories around. You don't need these 2 back in Stalingrad anymore. Move them back to Kiev, right? All right. So, yeah, remember, mobile factories is Russia's friend here. And this is just a big mess now, but yeah. So there you go. That is my Russian strategy, my conservative Russian strategy. And I hope this helps you.